It's the fighter that not only revolutionized how wars are fought, but also saved humanity. Over the course of its 15 years of service, this groundbreaking aircraft has evolved and inspired the creation of a multitude of successors. They all share the name this fighter coined, Valkyrie. But today, we'll go over the fighter that changed everything, the Stonewall Bellcom VF-1. There's not a person over the age of 25 on the Earth that doesn't remember that fateful night in 1999. An alien battle fortress, then called Alien Starship 1, fell from the sky into the small South Itaria archipelago near Iwo Jima. The kilometer-long starship wreaked havoc on the surrounding islands in its path as it fell. Over the next several years, scientists from the US and Japan investigated the monolithic object. Within it, they discovered what we now call over-technology, which revolutionized technological advancements across the globe. Now, there are some who insist that the term robo-technology was used several years ago, but I cannot find any official documentation on that, so I just have to chalk that up to a myth. By 2007, the unified forces of the world, now embroiled in the midst of a worldwide conflict against the Anti-Unification Alliance, decided that, while the war they were waging was to be won, a space war threat still existed. What if the aliens who built the vessel that fell to Earth returned? What if they were hostile? The newly formed UN Spacey needed an all-weather, all-atmosphere fighter that employed over-technology to defend against the alien threats. Upon inspection of the alien spaceship, it was found that the occupants, while absent from the hull, were about 10 times the height of an average human. At the time, the physiology of the aliens was unknown, but the specs filled out by the new United Government required the fighter to be able to transform into a VTOL configuration in order to combat the alien race. Should the need present itself, of course. Several companies put in bids for the Transforming Fighter project, including McNeil Douglas, Lockheed, and newcomers Stonewall Bellcom. Stonewall Bellcom developed a VTOL-capable experimental fighter called the VF-1. While the anti-UN forces had mostly been defeated by 2008, the Sukhoi Aircraft Company of Russia developed the SV-51 from stolen UN documents. A submersible aircraft carrier of the AUN was spotted near Mayan Island, where a United Nations team was investigating a possible alien artifact. By this point, the VF-1 project was not ready for any combat. A transforming fighter called the VF-0 Phoenix had been developed by Northrop Grumman, the company that created the F-14 Tomcat. In fact, it used a lot of the same DNA from the F-14. While they had not been part of the competition that would create the VF-1, Northrop Grumman worked closely with the Stonewall Bellcom company to develop a transforming fighter as a stopgap with conventional jet engines to counter the SV-51. Two small squadrons of the experimental fighters were deployed on the supercarriers CVN-99 Oscar II and the CVN-100 Graf Zeppelin. The Oscar was in the vicinity of the Isle of Maya, which allowed for the first transforming fighter engagement in history. Post-war details are muddled, but VF-0s achieved a 5-to-1 kill ratio over the Sukhoi variable fighters over the course of a week. The validity of a humanoid transforming fighter was cemented into UN doctrine, and the VF-1 was further developed into a fully transforming fighter that could take on the tactical stance of a humanoid. The VFX program culminated in the VF-1 Valkyrie, a 1- or 2-seat variable fighter capable of carrying the plethora of UN armaments from sea level all the way to the reaches of space. Primarily, the Valkyrie was equipped with a GU-11 gun pod that fired a 55mm cannon round. In addition, the VF-1 sensor head was equipped with 1 to 4 Mauler beam cannons as a coaxial gun system. During spaceflight trials, the Valkyrie was found to burn its fusion fuel at a massive rate above the atmosphere, so a booster and weapons system known as a Fastpack was created. This extended the VF-1's loiter time and made it even deadlier. The Fastpack could operate in atmosphere technically, however it was extremely taxing on the Valkyrie's maneuverability and would often just be jettisoned before re-entry. While it's likely that the VF-1 did not see much combat in the waning days of the Unification Wars, there is some documentation that Valkyries deployed to South Itaria Island to engage SV-51s. I don't really have too many details on this one. By 2009, several space squadrons had been activated, the most famous of which was the successor to the classic Jolly Rogers, SVF-1 Skulls. Deployed to the aircraft carrier CVN-101 Prometheus, the Skulls were in the vicinity of South Itaria Island when the restored alien Starship 1, now renamed SDF-1 Macross, had to perform an emergency spacefold when it fell under attack by the aliens and Trotty forces. The VF-1s performed remarkably well against the extraterrestrials, and though 95% of the Earth had been destroyed during Space War I by the Zentradi bombardment, the Valkyrie remained the backbone of UN forces during its reconstruction. After Space War I ended in 2010, the Zentradi, many of whom became micronized to human size, were trained to fly the VF-1, and interspecies integration of the military has had no ill effects on the operational readiness. Advancements in OTech have paved the way for improved variable fighters, including the VF-4 Lightning III and the new YF-11 now in development. Even so, the VF-1 has remained relevant through various upgrades. Integration of low observable materials, additional hardpoints, and pilot ergonomic improvements led to the VF-1 Block 6. The subsequent VF-1 blocks are projected to remain in frontline service for at least the next 20 years. In addition to the standard combat variants of the Valkyrie, we've seen the creation of the VT-1 trainer variant as well as the VE-1, an early warning Alint version.
Noah Stargazer, pop-up group bearing 307, 20 miles, 4,000, Regalt hostile.
As we aim to expand into the stars, the VF-1 is sure to come along with us, defending long-range fleets like the new Macross 1 colonization fleet. This is scheduled to launch in about 2030 if all goes well. The VF-1 Valkyrie is a galaxy-wide icon now. Not only does it have a military presence, the VF-1 has prospective private applications. The newly formed paramilitary companies like SMS and Chaos both operate their own custom models, and it's only a matter of time before the surplus of aircraft manufactured in Space War I finds its way into civilian hands for air racing, personal security, and even hunting large alien species. Hey guys, thanks a million for watching, and as always, my squad mate Hellion kicked ass in the art for this video. If you're interested in seeing more of their work, check out the Patreon link in the description. I'm Falcon, and as always, Valkyrie drivers, aim for the stars, keep the sun at your back, and stay alive, because the UN Spacey needs you.
On the flight deck, stay clear of the bow and starboard catwalks, cross lines on the bow release, scan in around bow waist, nothing like 7 knots.
Noah 204, cleared for Case 1 departure. Climb and maintain Angels 3, switch departure 297.6.